As global university, UQ's mission is to address global cybersecurity challenges and educate top cybersecurity leaders. We are the first organization in Australia to adopt the internationally recognized cybersecurity education framework, which is the current gold star standard around the world for cybersecurity education and job alignment. In November 2020, UQ established an Industry 4.0 energy test lab in partnership with Siemens, with funding support from the Australian government. Our cybersecurity research group within the energy test lab facilities research and education in critical infrastructure, resilience, and cybersecurity. It is estimated Australia will need an additional 18,000 cybersecurity professionals by 2026. This is why UQ has partnered with industry experts to develop the most comprehensive Master of Cybersecurity program in Australia. The program genuinely addresses the interdisciplinary nature of the field without compromising on the need for deep technical specialization in core areas, including cyber defense, cyber criminology, and cryptography. UQ is also passionate about attracting a diverse cohort into our cybersecurity programs to meet this growing demand. In 2020, we partnered with HP Australia to launch our HP Women in Cybersecurity Partnership Scholarship. Through scholarships like these, UQ is creating highly skilled professionals from all backgrounds who can meet the security challenges of the future. I hope today is a valuable opportunity to strengthen research and industry collaboration between our two countries to overcome the challenges we both face in this area. I'm excited to hear your thoughts today on how we can work together to create a cyber secure future. Thank you, and I wish the workshop some success. Thank you.
Mr. Lee, we'd like to invite Professor Michael Bulling, Head of School for the School of ITEE, to give a welcoming address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, academics and researchers from UQ and Korea University. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I would like also to start with expressing my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped to make this event possible. Specifically, I'd like to give special thanks to the Australian government for this opportunity, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and the Australia-Korea Foundation for funding and support, the Australian Embassy in Korea for their engagement, the delivery team and guest panel presenters for sharing their wealth of knowledge and respective expertise, and special thanks to UQ Cyber, to the entire team who have worked hard to prepare for this event over the past months, and for the help from Korea University, specifically by Professor Wee Kim. I've been told this wouldn't have been possible without his help. So thank you very much for all the help and support. Our school is pleased to be able to host this event at UQ and together in Korea via online. We appreciate the opportunity to contribute towards important government initiatives that strengthen bilateral relations between Australia and Korea, happening through knowledge sharing and education. Professor Ko mentioned that in 1992, Australia created AustCyber, the second oldest cyber emergency response team in the world. So UQ has been engaging in the cyber area for a very long period of time. And it was about 5 years ago that as a school and as a faculty of engineering, IT and architecture, we decided we actually really want to ramp up the engagement at the University of Queensland and focus strongly on cybersecurity. And we created an initiative that actually attracted in a total of about 50 million of funding building this initiative, with the immediate idea of saying we're going to be looking at the traditional cyber defense, we're going to be looking at cryptography, we're going to be looking at criminology, and we're going to be looking at cyber leadership. So 4 different angles on a topic, and bringing together researchers, students, people from across the world to actually work in these areas, do research in these areas, and do education in these areas. It was part of this, or as part of this initiative, we were able to attract Professor Ko to come to UQ, and he's now leading this initiative. We're very happy to have him and doing the workshop here today. So that's a bit of the background of where we came from and what our ambition is in that regard. And I hope in the workshop that these topics will come through. And it is exciting to see that the initiative is now at a point where international collaboration is becoming a core, actually extending relationships and working together. And having a partner as prominent as Korea University with the School of Cybersecurity is absolutely amazing. And it's great to have this partnership and doing this workshop together. As this is a multi-year grant, this workshop will be the start of many more collaboration workshops to come, as we hope. And we sincerely hope that COVID will go away, or the borders will open, and that it will be able to actually have this workshop face to face the next time that is happening. And I think we're all hoping for that. So I hope to be able to be welcoming our friends from Korea actually next year here, as well as the people in the room again after a successful workshop this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Bruning. Now I would like to hand over the virtual microphone to our partner in Korea University, Professor Hoi Kang Kim. If we can unmute the thank you.
Hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. First excuse, I just take off my mask for the welcoming remark. Good morning. My name is Jong Kim, the Korean side host for today's conference. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, Councillor Helen, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome each and every one of you to this special event. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped us make this event come together to become a success. Professor Lion Ko and all team members from the University of Queensland, and also all professors and staff from School of Cybersecurity at Korea University. This event couldn't happen without all of your efforts. Needless to say, cyber threat by state-sponsored hackers become the most serious threat nowadays. Therefore, just one point I would like to highlight is the importance of international collaboration in cybersecurity area. I strongly believe today's conference will be a cornerstone to make further good relationship between two countries. I look forward to fruitful deliberations at today's conference. Let's go together. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Professor Kim. Now we'd like to invite Dr. Alexandra Siddle. who's speaking to us from Canberra online.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you today. I'm actually in Seoul, but I'm in isolation, so please bear with me. I want to take this opportunity to thank the University of Queensland and Korea University for hosting today's event. I also want to thank the Australia Career Foundation for their grant that made today possible. As the Deputy Vice-Chancellor said earlier, there is no time for complacency. Today's conference on cybersecurity is being held during a period of increased opportunity, but also increased disruption and risk in the cyber domain. COVID-19 has amplified these opportunities and risks, with people's online usage significantly increasing. We face threats from both cyber criminals and national state actors. Threats we can't combat alone. Now, more than ever, we must engage with the international community as exciting possibilities emerge, critical debates unfold, and global rules are agreed. It is right, therefore, that in this important year, when we celebrate the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Australia and the Republic of Korea, that our two countries have signed a Memorandum of Understanding on cyber and critical technology cooperation. The memorandum, which will help us navigate the next 60 years, was signed in Seoul on the 13th of September by Australia's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator the Honourable Maurice Payne, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea, Jong-in-Lim. It is the first of its kind that the ROC has ever signed with any other country. We are delighted that we will now work together to build a more secure and prosperous region through information sharing, the joint shaping of secure and resilient technology, multilateral cooperation on standards and norms, and more coordinated cyber capacity building. And in the next few months, we expect the inaugural Senior Officials Cyber and Critical Technology Policy Dialogue to be held. This will kickstart our efforts under this new bilateral partnership. Our two countries are also working closely in the region. Over the next 3 years, Australia and the ROC are two of the co-chairs for the ASEAN Regional Forum ICT Security Workstream. This is a vital forum to build confidence, trust, and capability on cyber issues across our region through a range of practical initiatives and activities. At home, the Australian government is working hard to protect Australians from a range of cyber threats. Under Australia's Cybersecurity Strategy 2020, Australia will invest $1.67 billion over 10 years, the largest ever Australian government financial commitment to cybersecurity. This includes funding for enhanced cyber situational awareness and response, strengthening Australia's counter-cybercrime capability, including investing in the Australian Federal Police, growing Australia's cybersecurity skills and workforce, enhancing the cybersecurity of universities, and increasing awareness for Australian families and households and small and medium enterprises. I hope you find today's discussion engaging and that it leads to increased cybersecurity and professional cooperation between our two nations. Once again, I congratulate the University of Queensland and Korea University on this excellent example of international engagement on this most timely and important of topics. Thank you very much.
It's also great to know that you are also a UQ alumni, so it's fantastic. Yeah. Now we invite Ambassador Sung-Ju Choi to give us an address. So, Mr. Choi is the Head of International Cooperation of the Ban Ki-moon Foundation for a Better Future and former Ambassador to Poland.
Thank you very much for your warm introduction. With the permission, I too would like to take off my mask for facilitating your listening. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeong, former ambassador and actual visiting professor at the Korea University. Let me begin by expressing my sincere congratulations to you all on organizing today's first workshop between Korea University and University of Queensland to discuss how to promote cybersecurity sector diversity and bilateral interdisciplinary research. As a former ambassador in charge of cybersecurity within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Korea, I vividly remember that I chaired annual cyber policy consultations with Australia to deepen our bilateral cooperation in cyber and ICT-related areas. In addition, I worked with personal and great pride as the head of a preparatory secretariat of a Seoul conference on cyberspace held in October 2013. I am pleased to note that this workshop between our two universities is held at opportune time, taking into account ongoing serious cyber threat, in particular frequent ransomware attacks. As you know very well, Korea and Australia, we share fundamental values of liberal democracy, market economy, as well as rule of law. As such, the Republic of Korea and Australia are like-minded countries. Also, both Korea and Australia are commonly allies of the United States. During the Korean War, our two countries also fought hand in hand to defend free and democratic Korea against communist North Korea's illicit invasion. We Korean people will never forget great sacrifices of Australian military forces during the war. This Thursday, day after tomorrow, November 11th, I am going to the UNMCK located in Busan to attend the solemn Turn Toward Busan ceremony. This will be held annually to commemorate fallen foreign soldiers who were dispatched during the Korean War in accordance with the UN Security Council resolution. On the other hand, we cannot overemphasize critical importance of strengthening cybersecurity. I think cyber threat, health threat, and climate crisis constitute global security challenges which require global response through close partnership and cooperation. In view of the unique nature of cyberspace and cyber-related technologies, government, private sector, as well as academia should work closely together as multi-stakeholders. It goes without saying that government alone cannot deal with the serious challenges which are originating from cyberspace. Given the gravity of so frequent cyber attacks, all hands-on deck approach among multi-stakeholders, as well as close cooperation with friends and allies is urgently needed. When it comes to our bilateral relations between Korea and Australia, as just mentioned by Alexandria Sidal, this year marks the 60th anniversary of establishment of our diplomatic ties. Actually, the Republic of Korea holds 2+2 ministerial talks with just a small number of countries, including Australia. In this regard, recently I was informed that Korean foreign and defense ministers held the 2+2 talks with the Australian counterpart in Seoul this September. As the 2+2 talks, at the 2+2 talks this year, our two countries concluded the MOU on cyber and critical technology cooperation. Key component of this MOU includes some specific areas of cooperation, as just mentioned by Alexandra Sidal, information sharing, ICT-related R&D and policy, multilateral norms and standards, as well as regional capacity building. I think today's workshop between our two universities is an initial example of the substantive follow-up and implementation of the above mentioned MOU between our two governments. Certainly, close collaboration will enable our two universities to produce concrete outcomes in a mutually beneficial way. I do sincerely hope that our two universities will start delivering on joint projects very soon. I am confident that thanks to our active participation and mutual cooperation, today's workshop will be crowned with great success. And I wish sincerely that this process will continue in the years to come. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Very much, Professor Choi. Now I would like to invite Mr. Han-Jin Bae, the head of the Korean consulate in Brisbane, to come and give us an address. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Jeong, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Vice President. Professor Michael Bruni, it is very hard to pronounce. Head of School of IT and Head of School of IT and Electrical Engineering. For the Korean side, Professor Hee-Gang Kim, Ambassador Sung-Ju Choi, and Dr. Alexandra Sida, distinguished scholars, panelists, and specialists, and ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to stand here in front of many prominent scholars, researchers, and specialists of Korea and Australia. I would like to thank you all of the attendees who are the most valued asset in leading the bilateral cooperation, in promoting diversity and interdisciplinary approach in the area of cyber security. With the remarkable advances in ICTs, we have seen the advent of a high-tech and interconnected world. It has presented to us a new domain of boundless opportunities, bringing unprecedented economic and social benefit. At the same time, dual uses in technology have brought new threats to security. Blockchain technology can be a good example. It has made financial transactions easier and simpler with cryptocurrency. However, hackers targeting a ransom with the help of technological anonymity and untraceability. According to the Global Risk Report issued by the World Economic Forum, cybercrime damages might reach $6 trillion in 2021. That is roughly equivalent to the GDP of the world's third largest country. Furthermore, since the pandemic, cyber attacks have become more frequent and sophisticated. Attacks targeting the public and biotechnology, taking advantage of the fear of COVID-19 are increasing rapidly. The important thing we need to be aware is that cybersecurity response level of any country or any company is equal to that of the most vulnerable. When there is a small leakage in the board, it will be unable to contain water more than the level of the leakage. Therefore, response to this cyber threat requires better perfect security and multifaceted solutions, not a single silver bullet. In order to respond today's advanced cyber threat, we cannot overemphasize the importance of diversity in cybersecurity and the collaboration of experts in various fields. Distinguished scholars, ladies and gentlemen, currently, Korea is the fourth largest trading partner of Australia and plays an important role in the Australian economy. Recent example of emergency supply of diesel exhaust fluid from Australia to Korea has again proved the valuable partnership between the two countries. Korea and Australia, already close economic partners, have many areas where we can expand our cooperation. I'm therefore pleased to note that this topic for today's discussion on cybersecurity is one of the promising areas of partnership. I hope that this roundtable will contribute to the shaping of future-oriented cooperation related to cybersecurity between two friendly countries. By the time we close this event, we'll feel, hopefully, with valuable information discussed today and deeper insight through it, that we have moved one step closer to create an open, secure, stable, accessible, and peaceful cybersecurity environment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bey. And now we move on to the next section of our program. May I invite? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we will take a 3-minute break. Please feel free to help yourself with the water, and we'll start shortly with the next session, the panel discussion chaired by Dr. Greta Knapp-Skeller. So see you in 5 minutes.